There's one thing that if you implement it into your life, it is almost guaranteed that you are going to find major success. So when you look at a successful entrepreneur or a successful individual, what's the main thing that drives that person, right? Let's look at Kobe Bryant, for example. This guy who played basketball his entire life, made a lot of money, had a lot of success, but really and truly, when you look at his story, the biggest thing that stands out for this guy was his why. His why got him up in the morning. His why made sure that he was able to perform at a high level. I even heard a story that there was one time where he broke a leg or he broke an arm or something. Something wasn't working in his body and he was still able to play the game. And his why was way more powerful than his how. A lot of people in life, they're thinking about how they can get something. Before you figure out the how, think about the why. Think about what really is going to push you and get you to a level where you're working on a strong purpose, right? Now, from my understanding and from my study about the Muslims, is the Muslims genuinely don't just have one reason why. It's not enough really for us. We have multiple whys. And I'm going to break down what that means, right? So over here, why do you want to succeed? Why do you want to change your life? Why do you want to have an impact on people? Why do you want to be a great father? Why? Think about your why. What's really going to drive you when you've got nothing left in the tank, bro? Now, when we think about one reason why, again, I don't think that's enough. Because if I was to ask you why right now and you tell me, I want to make some more money, okay, why? Oh, I want to look after my family. Okay, why? Like, you have to go levels deep. The deeper that you go, the more personal it's going to be for you in your life. Now, I want to break down the why into 6 different segments. Segment number 1 is going to be deen. We're Muslims, right? And here's the reality, bro. We don't do things based off worldly gains alone. We do things based off the hereafter, off our relationship with Allah. What brings us closer to our deen? Because ultimately, we're going to go to Jannah, inshallah. And that's where we're ultimately going to find happiness, right? So number 1, why do you do what you do when it comes to your deen? If you're a businessman, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're building a career, why is it that you want to succeed and then relate that to your deen? Is this going to serve my deen, yes or no? If it is going to serve my deen, how can it serve my deen in a positive manner? Note that down. Number 2 comes to your wealth, right? In the end of the day, wealth is what solves problems. Money solves problems in this world that we live in. So you got to figure out what is the goal for you financially in regards to your why. Why do you do what you do in a financial state of mind, right? Oh, I do what I do because I want to get to a level where I can become a millionaire. Why do I want to become a millionaire? Because I want to serve the deen of Allah without having the issue of having a 9 to 5 and worrying about my bills. So you see how the purpose there aligns with your why? And that's what's going to really drive you when you're pursuing the wealth element of your goal, inshallah, of your why, right? Number 3 is going to be health. Now what that means, a healthy body is a healthy mind. If you're not looking after yourself, if you're not looking after your mental state, if you're not looking after your physical state, you're not going to perform well in business. You're not going to perform well in your career. You're not going to perform well in anything. So you got to look after yourself. You got to make sure you're eating well. You got to make sure you're eating on time and sleeping on time. You got to make sure that you are drinking enough water. You're making sure that you're going out and working out, going for runs, going to the gym, whatever it is. A man needs to go out there and do physical activity, bro. You know, as a man, you have responsibility of a wife, of parents, of kids, of brothers and sisters, of colleagues, of the ummah, of the younger generation. There's so much responsibility on your plate, of your job, of everything. How do you release and get in a good state of mind? Well, you have to go out there and do something physical, right? Again, whether it's running, climbing, doing something to push you and challenge you to release that stress and get you back to the restart button, okay? That's number 3. Number 4, shabab, we have family. Now, what I mean by family is you got to link family to why you do what you do. For example, let's say I really want to become successful. Why category family? Well, because I want to spend time with my kids. I don't want them to go to school, come home, and by the time I get home from work, I don't really have, a moment with them. They're sleeping, I'm waking up, getting out for work before they wake up, and this way I'm missing out on their upbringing. I'm not able to raise them the way I want to raise them and teach them about the religion of Allah and make them the best version of themselves. So in this way, my family is important for me, and I want to be physically available, mentally available to raise them. So that is a purpose that you've decided that's going to link up to your why. Okay, that's just an example. But you got to figure out what's really going to push the needle forward when it comes to that purpose as well. Now, number 5, education or ilm, right? We're talking about knowledge. Are you someone that is actively pursuing knowledge? Are you seeking knowledge? If you're not seeking knowledge, you're simply putting yourself in a position of loss, really, because the world is developing every single day. People are learning about deen. People are learning about AI. People are learning about new income streams. And if you're not educating yourself and developing your mind on how you can catch up, right, you're going to miss out. There's a saying, it's not the smartest guy or the richest guy who's the most powerful in the world. It's the guy who can adapt the fastest. The way we adapt is educating ourselves, right? How can you educate yourself on something that you don't understand or you don't know? I've had guys come to me and say, I'm really good at doing this, but my weakness is technology. Okay, learn technology, but I don't really want to. Actually, you're going to be left behind, right? Don't be the guy that gets left behind when it comes to educating yourself and developing your skills and developing your mindset. So education needs to be a priority. And the last thing is impact, or what we like to call amal al-khair, right? Something that you're doing for the sake of Allah. Now this could be that you are sponsoring an orphan across the globe. It could be that you're helping out the youth in your local masjid. They're on the wrong track, they're doing the wrong things. You want to be a bigger brother for them. You want to be able to support them once a week. You come to the masjid, you do a halaqah. Whatever it is that's impactful, that's positive, for the sake of Allah, you need to have that as a strong reason why as well. Now if you look at all these 6 reasons why, we said deen, wealth, health, family, education, and impact. If you can put all this together, then you're going to create a strong purpose of why you want to succeed. The days where you feel demotivated or lazy or distracted, actually, you're going to find 6 reasons why you got to get back in shape and get back in the ring and keep fighting. 6 reasons, okay? Now let's take this a level deeper, because I know there's some guys in here that probably listen to this and be like, bro, I already know that stuff. I want to go a little bit deeper. Let's go a little bit more advanced for you guys. Okay, cool. Look, for each of these, I want you to create 3 targets. 3 targets for each of these. So we have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. You're going to have 18 targets or 18 goals of why you want to succeed in these 6 categories. And what's going to happen is you're going to have a stronger detailed plan on the specifics of the goals that you want to achieve. So let's say, for example, Dean, I want to be able to become someone that understands a hadith to a high level. So what I'm going to do is I want to set a target that every single month I want to learn 10 new ahadith every single month. So this way, you're going to put it into your plan to learn these ahadith, to memorize them, to understand them, to implement them, and then to utilize them in your own life. This way, you're being strategic with your reason why. You're being strategic with your goal. Okay, it's not just random. You're not doing things by random, and you're not winging it. You're strategic with the moves that you make. Wealth-wise, what's something that you genuinely want to achieve in regards to wealth? It could be that you want to hit $1 million. It could be that you want to hit your first 100K, your first 10K. Whatever the number is, you put that number there and then you put a deadline on it. You put a deadline. That needs to be your why. That needs to be your push. And even the monetarily target that you have, there needs to be a purpose to that as well. What's that going to do for me? If I get to 100K, what am I going to do with that? Well, I'm going to gift my family an Umrah trip. I'm going to be able to send 10,000 to build a masjid in somewhere across the world. Whatever it is, there's a more specific goal within that goal. Does that make sense? So here, we're talking about 18 goals. 18 goals that you're going to set up for yourself within your engine, your why engine. I like to call this the why engine, right? Now, here's the deal though. You have 90 days. You have 90 days to get there. And the reason why I'm picking 90 days is there's a study that says it takes 21 days to change a habit. It takes 90 days to change your lifestyle. If you could put down 18 goals or 18 targets for the next 90 days, and you can lock in, even if you don't get there, bro, even if you don't hit all 18 goals, but you hit 12, you hit 13, you hit 14, Allah Mubarak, bro, fair play to you. You moved forward. You've checked things off the list. The majority of people these days don't even have a list to check things off. They don't even have a direction towards what they're doing, why they're doing what they're doing. They don't even have specific goals. They're just doing things based off, I want to make money. Actually, it's not enough. You have to have specifics if you want to really become impactful and a leader in your space, right? So doing this, shabab, 90 days from now, you're going to be able to achieve a lot more because you've set direction, you've set a strategic plan on where you're going and how you're going there, and most importantly, why you're going there. So shabab, now that we understand the why engine and why it's important for you to have a 90-day game plan when it comes to your goals and your targets, let's get to work, man. Let's actually practically put this into place. Now, if you guys want to learn more about that, I'm going to build another YouTube video for you guys on how to structure your calendar and how to include your whys within the calendar itself. So you guys can stay tuned for that. Other than that, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Go get it.